If the nickname is destiny, then cursed at birth. The F-4 Phantom II fighter, even its official name, is ironic. Phantom evokes images of secrecy and subtlety, supernatural enemies who attack without warning. But the F-4 is by no means hidden or subtle. It is a great fighter who goes to great lengths to get through the fight. Along the way, this aircraft became one of the most influential in history. Aircraft. During the tense Cold War years of the 1960s and 1970s, the Phantom was a symbol of Western tactical air power. Between 1958 and 1981, 5,195 Phantoms were built in a dozen variants, and flown by many nations, making it the most productive American supersonic warplane ever built. More than 60 years after its first flight, the F-4 still flies in several air forces around the world. McDonnell F-4 Phantom Beauty, and the Beast Phantom is still loved for its many qualities. Beauty is not one of them. Its beefy nose gives the F-4 a face that only a mother, or a plane designer, would want, compared to whether the plane was sent upside down. Others said the Phantom proved that a brick could fly if you put two large engines on it. The British Admiral even asked that the F-4's wings curved up and tilted down looked like a model kit of a wrongly assembled aircraft, one of the sleek F-35s or F-16s. To understand the story of the Phantom, we need to rewind to the era of black and white televisions and closet-sized computers. When the Phantom first appeared in 1953, jet fighters existed for less than a decade. Primordial Ghost as an all-weather fighter bomber. Super Demon. There was no reason to expect this new aircraft to become a classic. Dozens of new fighter and bomber designs appeared in the 1950s. Most will remain prototypes, quickly become obsolete, or appear on museum displays, but there are three key moments that will shape the Phantom story. The first occurred in 1955, when the U.S. Navy asked McDonnell Aircraft to create a carrier-based interceptor to protect the fleet from bombers. Although interceptors are largely extinct today, they were common in the 1950s, when guided missiles were still new, and manned bombers at high altitudes posed the greatest threat. Countries want fast jets that can glide to high altitudes and intercept bombers before they reach their targets. Also useful are powerful radars and newly developed air-to-air missiles, but neither maneuverability nor cannons are needed to fight reckless bombers, or so the military thinks. Planners think, convinced that it is outdated. And that the air battles of the future no longer exist, only waged with missiles. Air battles. The next plot twist was written in the early 1960s by Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara, best known for his data-driven efficiency approach that proved disastrous in the Vietnam War. McNamara believed that regular fighters for the Air Force, Navy, and Marines would save money. The same controversial approach would be repeated 40 years later with the F-35 program.